Mr. President, Excellencies.
Confirmed that across all sectors in Gaza, humanitarian actors were still unable to operate at scale in the enclave. 110 days since the ceasefire took effect on October 10th last year, while conditions remain dire.
And cold temperatures has exacerbated the suffering of more than 1.5 million displaced Palestinians in Gaza, who had little or no means to seek safe shelter. I heard firsthand how families sat vigil through the night just trying to hold down the four corners of their tents. I saw a little girl carrying heavy stones just to prevent her shelter from blowing away in the wind. I don't know her age, but she looked to me being just 4-year-old. The shelter response has suffered from restrictions for the entry of vital materials and technical expertise. As a result, shelter sites in Gaza do not meet the scale of the needs or international standards.
Despite the ceasefire, Israel's military continued to conduct operations with airstrikes and gunfire across the Strip, with hundreds of Palestinians, including women and children, killed since the ceasefire went into effect. He pointed to armed exchanges involving Palestinian militants also continuing. But despite these obstacles to a fully fledged peace, he described as a critical step the establishment of a national committee for the administration of Gaza, including the Office for the High Representative for Gaza and the subsidiary bodies of the Board of Peace. With some council members, including France, raising questions about the board's seemingly expanding mandate that was not authorized in last November's resolution endorsing the peace plan.
Établissement du Conseil de la Paix.
With regard to the establishment of the Board of Peace, its founding text raises major political and legal questions, particularly concerning its scope of application and its governance. France recalls that its action was authorized by the UN Charter and Resolution 2803. It's important, therefore, that the Security Council be regularly informed of the progress made in the implementation of Resolution 2803.
Israel insisted that no reconstruction would commence in Gaza until Hamas had demilitarized and disarmed, a key peg of the peace plan that remains tenuous.
One obstacle remains: Hamas disarmament. The choice now rests with Hamas. Acceptance of full disarmament enables progress. Refusal places full responsibility on Hamas for the consequences. Clarity is essential about what disarmament actually means. Disarmament does not mean staged handovers for cameras. It does not mean weapons hidden underground while promises are made above ground. There is no real disarmament until Hamas's military infrastructure is dismantled.
Palestine's envoy welcomed the return of the remains of the last Israeli hostage, but raised concern about the countless Palestinian families who were still searching for their loved ones.
What about the countless Palestinian families whose loved ones have been killed, with thousands of bodies still crushed and buried under rubble, yet to be found, yet to be identified, and to be given dignified burial? What of the families who waited for the return of thousands denied, tortured, humiliated, starved, raped, or missing? What of the entire families obliterated from existence, or the survivors of genocide left with grave injuries and amputations, who will carry the devastation with them for all their lives? What of the trauma and loss of an entire people? The suffering of the Palestinian people, civilian men, women, and children, must be ended with equal urgency.
As part of the ceasefire deal and homecoming of the final hostage, Israel is expected to soon reopen the border between Gaza and Egypt at Rafah for limited pedestrian traffic, providing the only gateway for trapped Gazans to the outside world. Sherman Briceby's SABC News, New York.